ya pale Facebook. Facebook kama pia unaweza ingia kwenye YouTube, you will get me live there. And of course, I will be reading the comments that are tripping down on this live. It's a very interesting conversation. Nimeweza kushare story yangu. So msione nikana kwamba huyo msichana labda hajaipitia heartbreak. Mimi nimepitia heartbreak pia na nimejionea makubwa na ya ajabu. But anyway, guys, I just want us to get to the word of the day today. What we are going to be discussing is on healing from a heartbreak. This can be a really, really difficult thing to deal with, especially if at all you have not decided to address the issue that is the problem. Sometimes we like to ignore. Ni kama tuseme, for example, uko na kidonda mahali. Umekuwa na kidonda mahali, labda uliweza kuumia, kitu kibaya kilikufanyikia pale ukaumia, and then you decide to ignore that wound or something of the sort. What happens is that it gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse, and before you know it, you could even lose a part of your body just because you ignored a small wound like this. Sometimes we do not understand the impact, or rather the damage, a heartbreak or someone hurting us or a betrayal could have on us. So today I want us to read from the book of Isaiah 43 verse 2. And it says, when you pass through deep waters, I will be with you. Your troubles will not overwhelm you. When you pass through the fire, you will not be burned. The hard trials that will come will not hurt you. Let me read that again. When you pass through the deep waters, I will be with you. Your troubles will not overwhelm you. When you pass through the fire, you will not be burned. The hard trials that come will not hurt you. And I also want us to pair this up with the book of Psalms. There's this verse that I really love that could really, really speak into the situation that we are addressing today on healing from a heartbreak. And it is from Psalms 34 from verse 18. And it says, the Lord is near to those who are discouraged. He says those who have lost all hope. So I want us to first of all admit that heartbreak is not something easy. It is not something that you can move on from it just immediately. It is something that sometimes takes time in order for you to get to the other side of healing. But from my own experience and what I have seen is, first of all, we need to change the perspective of looking at it as this thing happened to me, but look at it from the angle of this thing happened for me. I want us to be reminded of the story of Abraham and Lot. It was until Abraham was separated from Lot that blessings began to come his way. And sometimes there are people who we are holding on to like this, and God is like, I cannot bless you unless you release the hold. I cannot bless you because this person could be holding a fundamental blessing in your life that until you let go, you may not get to the other side. And sometimes even as we are healing, we need to remember that God is concerned with us being honest. Go to him in prayer and tell him, God, I am hurting. God, I feel bad. God, this is an unfair thing that happened to me. And you can be sure that through your vulnerability and that coming to God in prayer, he definitely will come through for you and he will heal that which is broken within you. But again, we have to remember that it is difficult for us to move on if at all we are still holding on to unforgiveness. What we need to do is forgive that other person, to release that other person, because once we release them to God, it's like we are telling God, God, take these pieces, take this brokenness. I don't want to hold it anymore. Take it and heal me. And the moment we begin to forgive that other person for what they did, then we allow God to work his way out. Sometimes when God separates people from your life, it's because he knows it's for your own good. He saw conversation that you did not see. He saw gossip, talks that you did not see. He has heard things that you do not know. God already knows in 1 month, in 2 months, this person is going to do you dirty. He's going to do this particular thing to you. God has seen conversations that you're not even part of. So when he removes someone from your life, you need to embrace it and know that this is God's direction. This is God telling me that I need to make space for something better. I need to make space for a blessing. Like in this case of Abraham and Lot, who after being separated from Lot, that is the only time that God was able to give gave him, the things that he had blessed him. Even like, when a rocket is going upwards, there are these things that was in a hole, the boosters, but as it goes higher, these boosters have to be released. They have to fall off. There are levels that you can't get to unless you release the things and the people that are still holding you back. It will get better because God is close to the brokenhearted. It will get better because God has lined up the person for you. Even in case of relationships, God has already foreseen the person that is going to be good for you, because God knows your weaknesses. He knows your strengths. He knows the things you love. He knows your emotional needs. So when he takes someone away from your life, it means that he has someone better in store for you. So the best you can do is release it, because that separation could be the beginning of your blessing. The Bible reminds us that God is close to the brokenhearted. He sees you. Hagar said that, God, you're the God who sees me, the God who knows what I'm going through, the God who knows each and every pain that is within me. When you go to God in prayer, when you go to God in all honesty, you can be sure that he will come through for you. Heartbreaks are difficult, but what is more difficult is holding on to something that God has already put an expiration date on. Move on. There are better things ahead. There are better things ahead for you.
Days Bait on Anchored.